watching NotesIn9.
Hello, and welcome to NotesIn9. I'm David Leedy. Episode 210, Compared Databases for Differences. You just might have missed this one. Okay, before we get going, I wanted to talk about OpenNTF Discord. Here's the QR code and the link to get there, and it's a Discord server that's focused on OpenNTF community happenings and interests like development, administration. They do repair cafes where you can come and ask questions, and that there's just a good, thriving community there. And if you have questions or you want to give answers to, or just come and say hi and join the community, this is the place to do it. And it's basically run from the OpenNTF organization, and it's for the community. And I highly recommend checking it out. And this will not going to be the last time you're going to hear that on this show. Okay, a quick disclaimer. And I actually did have a disclaimer last week, but that was an administration disclaimer. This is a development disclaimer. I'm going to show you this template that comes with the product for comparing databases to find design differences for them. And I know how to do one thing. I believe this template can do a lot more, and I haven't quite figured that stuff out yet. But I do know how to do one thing, so that's what we're going to talk about. And with that being said, let's go to the demo. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a database that I've downloaded from xpagescheatsheet.com. If you're not familiar with that website, there's not that much there. It's a very old, just little demo database that I put together back in the day. But it is the home of the Xpages cheat sheet, which was printed at several of the Lotus Spheres versions or whatever their names were at the time for the beginning Xpages cheat sheet. And it has a URL cheat sheet, which actually this is still kind of valuable, and I refer to it now and then for just playing around with the URL and parsing and just kind of a cheat sheet on how to get that information out of their next pages. But it contains this fake names database. And the fake names database is something I put together long ago. This one has about 1,200 names in it. It's just an address book with fake names that you can use in your applications. And I do have a 50,000 version somewhere. Not quite sure where that is. But anyway, so that's this. So if we look at this database, again, you can feel free to download that for your own applications. But what we're interested today is I made a copy of this database and I changed a few elements in Designer. But I'm not going to tell you what those elements are. We want to go find them. So how do we look at the differences between these two databases from a design perspective? Is we're going to create a new database, File, Application, New, and we need to go to an advanced template on the server. This is a V12 server, and you're not going to find it until you click on Show Advanced Templates. So if we come down here and we do Compare Database Reports, and I'm just going to put on my local machine, Compare DB, and we'll just give her that space, and we'll click OK. And now we have it. So it starts off with some information here, and I do recommend reading all of this. There is some good information in here. And again, I'm only going to show us how to do one thing here. I think there's a lot more you can do in this. I saw somewhere, I forget where, there's some references to using it with Git, I thought, from a source control thing. And stuff like that. So I'm kind of interested in it, but I just haven't quite figured out how to do anything fancy with it. Now, one thing that I would say we do is come down here and use this difference tool. Now, I have already downloaded in my machine WinMerge. So I'm going to just click here. I looked at Beyond Compare for a little bit, and I kind of liked it, but that is not a free app. So for now, we're just going to use WinMerge because that is free, and it knows about it, fills that in. And okay, so it's configured to use a difference tool. We won't get too far with that, spoiler. But if we go to code review and we put in our databases, so here's the source database, fake names demo, and the target database, fake names changed. And there's a lot of different settings and stuff that you can kind of go through and kind of tweak it. But one that I would probably turn off is this compare documents because I don't want to compare documents in this database of 1,200 records or 50,000 records. And then we just say create report. And bam, there it is. So on the left-hand side is the source, on the right-hand side is the target. So the first thing we can see, which I wasn't even thinking of originally, is the database title has changed, and it's telling me that. The replica ID is changed. Apparently in the copy, something else got turned on. There's some icon information that's changed. But here we can see that added and deleted design elements. So I added an X page. I called it new X page. We're not going to try to open that now. I forget if that even worked or not. But let's look at modifications. So here, source, target. I added to an existing X page a single line where I just put some text, some HTML on the page. And if we look at this view, we can see that I changed the width of a view column. I made it much bigger from 20 to 44. And I changed the formula for the view column from last name, comma, first name to last name, comma, first name. And I added the address there just to make a change. And this database is telling us what's going on with that. So this is kind of cool. I haven't done a lot with this, but I've done that with it, and I kind of like the capability here. Now, Team Studio has an application, I believe, to do similar. I haven't really seen it in probably 15, maybe 20 years. So I don't have much familiarity with it anymore, but they still have that. So that's a paid product that you can look into that might do a very good job as well. Now there is this over here, this launch difference tool. And again, remember we set that up a minute ago. Now it's not working though, so I don't understand why that is. It's not finding any differences for some reason. So I haven't quite figured it out there, but I'm interested in it. But that's WinMerge, and we'll probably be playing with WinMerge again on this show. But that's really what I wanted to show, that this database is a new advanced template that may have been missed, and it may be worth playing with. And that's the demo. I hope you liked it. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions, though, the OpenNTF Discord is the best place for questions because there's a lot of people much smarter than me that hang out there, and it's a good group. And I thank you for your time.